after Dawn discovered that Joe was blamed for leaving Billy for dead. Despite the fact that he was innocent, she became determined to get away from his control. She began rushing plans to start a fresh life in Spain with Billy and the children, but Joe is about to uncover her intentions before she can even get behind the wheel. Could Joe really have been completely unaware of Dawn's scheme? He seemed fairly unconcerned when Gabby suggested several weeks ago that Dawn and Billy were becoming far too close. However, Caleb's excitement when he revealed that the pair had also shared a kiss certainly put Joe in a bad mood. A brief conversation with his fiancée, though, was enough to settle his concerns. After Billy was struck on the head and abandoned, Joe was frustrated when suspicion fell on him. Nevertheless, he continued to deny any involvement and was eventually cleared. Surprisingly, Joe appears to have shown little concern about Dawn spending each day beside Billy in hospital while secretly preparing to disappear. The signs suggest that Joe may have known very little about what Dawn was planning. But could there be more to his behavior? His reaction after discovering Dawn at the hospital without being told about her whereabouts seemed suspiciously relaxed. However, Joe appears particularly anxious on his wedding day and wants everything to proceed perfectly. His nerves seem stronger than those of someone who is completely unaware of a betrayal, leaving Graham to offer him some reassurance. Graham attempts to calm him down, although he has his own suspicions and decides to investigate Dawn's activities. While Graham searches for answers, Caleb secretly gives Billy a large amount of money to help him and his family begin their new lives. At the woolpack before the wedding, Joe raises a glass to happy endings. Caleb is clearly irritated by the comment, but Ruby stops him from exposing Dawn and Billy's getaway plans, telling him to wait until the wedding. Caleb, however, struggles to keep the secret to himself. When a smug Joe removes Caleb from the wedding guest list, taking away his chance to witness the drama from the front row, Caleb finally decides to reveal everything. He tells Joe that Dawn has already disappeared. Yet actor Ned Porteous has offered Metro some intriguing hints, suggesting that Joe could actually know far more about the situation than viewers realize. Ned questioned whether Joe is genuinely aware of what is happening, raising the possibility that he could either be preparing a devastating revenge plan or remain completely oblivious to Dawn's actions. Just imagine if that were the case. Could the dark veil Dawn wears in the promotional footage actually be connected to her own funeral? Perhaps it should not come as a huge surprise. Revenge has always been central to Joe's character, while Dawn has long understood that going against him could have dangerous consequences. Ned explained that Joe's greatest weakness is his family and the people he cares about most. Taking that away from someone already known for being volatile and dangerous could push him beyond his limits and remove the final thing, keeping him connected to his better nature. That certainly sounds like a major hint that Joe could completely lose control after discovering the betrayal and react in a way only Joe Tate would. Although Joe has never been particularly keen on getting directly involved in dirty work himself, the question remains over what he could order Graham to do. Graham eventually discovers Dawn filling suitcases and getting ready to run. But just how far will Graham go in order to prevent her from escaping? Emmerdale fans work out who Thea is related to, and it's not Graham or the Tates. Emmerdale viewers have come up with a new theory about DS Thea Ramsden's possible family connection, and many now believe she could be linked to a returning character. While early speculation suggested that Thea might be Jean Tate, the latest fan theories point towards the Kings instead. Thea's decision to join forces with Serena Sugden in an attempt to bring down the Tates has sparked plenty of questions. Some viewers previously believed she could be Graham Foster's daughter, or even Jean, especially because she appears determined to target Kim Tate and finally bring her down. Her apparent desire for revenge has now led fans to predict that Sadie King could be involved in the storyline when she makes her return. Viewers suspect Sadie may be plotting to take control of Home Farm and believes removing Kim from the picture could help her achieve that goal. As a result, One popular theory suggests that Thea could be Sadie's daughter, while another possibility is that the pair are not related but have secretly been working together. Could Thea and Sadie be joining forces with Serena to take over Home Farm? There is also the question of why Sadie would have a reason to target Kim when the two women have never actually crossed paths. Since Thea works as a detective, her determination to expose the Tates could instead be connected to their criminal history. One fan suggested that the storyline could be linked to Sadie's upcoming return, while admitting they could be completely wrong. Another viewer confidently claimed that Thea is Sadie's daughter, with another agreeing that she could be the daughter of Sadie and Jimmy King. A further fan even suggested that Sadie could be connected to both Thea and Serena. Other viewers wondered whether the entire scheme could be centered around gaining control of Home Farm. One theory pointed out that Caleb also has his sights set on the property, suggesting the competing plans could eventually create an explosive storyline. Fans continued to focus on Sadie's return, with one viewer insisting that Thea's secret must somehow be connected to her because she is expected back in the village. Another fan admitted they had initially suspected a connection to Sadie, suggesting that Thea and the returning character could either be secretly working together or share a family link. More theories soon appeared, including speculation that Thea could be Sadie's daughter, or even connected to Jamie Tate. Others questioned whether her arrival in the village was specifically designed to tie into Sadie's comeback. Some viewers have instead turned their attention towards Serena, believing she could be the character with the secret connection to Sadie. One fan suggested that Serena may be secretly working alongside Sadie, which could explain why she has been investigating Home Farm. Another viewer also agreed that Serena could have some sort of link to the returning character. For now, Thea's true identity and her motives remain a mystery, but it may not be long before the truth finally comes to light. Emmerdale reveals Graham Foster's important role in huge wedding episodes. Joe Tate and Dawn Fletcher are preparing to tie the knot next week on Emmerdale, but their wedding day is set to become memorable for all the wrong reasons, as Dawn attempts to flee before events take a devastating turn. Although several details about the storyline remain secret, it has now been revealed that Dawn's escape plan runs into trouble when Graham Foster discovers her loading her luggage into the car. Dawn's determination to get away has already put her in Graham's path before, and actress Olivia Bromley has hinted that he could once again stand in her way. She also teased that Dawn remains incredibly strong-willed throughout the storyline and warned viewers not to underestimate her simply because she is pregnant. Bromley also spoke positively about working alongside Graham's actor, praising his character's quiet and controlled nature. She explained that his calm personality contrasts with Dawn's frantic behavior, making their scenes particularly enjoyable to perform. However, she admitted that there was plenty of drama during filming that she cannot reveal yet. Dawn's decision to escape comes from her firm belief that Joe was responsible for the vicious attack that left Billy seriously injured. If she had witnessed the real events, however, she would know that Kev Barton was actually behind the assault. According to Bromley, discovering the truth would completely transform Dawn's situation. The actress explained that Dawn does not truly want to abandon Joe because she still has deep feelings for him. Although outsiders may question her decisions, Dawn remains determined to stand beside the man she loves, regardless of what others think. There is also something deeply emotional about Dawn continuing to choose Joe despite everything happening around them. However, the one thing Dawn cannot accept is the belief that Joe deliberately harmed Billy. She cares deeply about Billy too, making the supposed betrayal impossible for her to overlook. If Joe is eventually proven innocent, Bromley believes Dawn's entire plan would change. She would have no reason to leave Joe, flee with their children, abandon Kim, or escape while carrying his baby. So, if Dawn finally learns who really attacked Billy, her decision to run away could be completely turned upside down. Emmerdale airs weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX and YouTube.